ராய் ரத்னவேல் அவர்களுடைய இந்த புத்தகம் என்பது உலக மனசாட்சியின் முன்னும் how do you do justice to all these mothers and sisters only by giving hope and by remembering. நினைவு வைத்துக் கொள்வதும் மறவாதிருப்பதும் தான் நம்பிக்கையினுடைய அடுத்த கட்டம். அது நம்மை இழுத்து கீழே போடுவதற்கல்ல, இனியும் இப்படி ஒன்று நடக்கக்கூடாது என்பதற்கான உறுதிப்பாடுகளை உருவாக்குவதற்கு நினைவுகளை நாம் மதிப்புடன் வைத்து நம்பிக்கையுடன் முன் செல்வது என்பது மிக முக்கியம். அந்த நம்பிக்கையினுடைய அடையாளமாக எழுந்திருக்கின்ற ஒரு மாபெரும் தமிழ் ஆளுமை ராய் ரத்னவேல். பின்னிருந்து முன்வர வேண்டும் என்றால் எனக்கு தெரிய தமிழ் சார்ந்து, தமிழ் நினைவுகள் சார்ந்து எழுதப்பட்டு ரேண்டம் ஹவுஸ் பெங்குயின் உலகத்தினுடைய நம்பர் 1 பதிப்பகம் வெளியிட்ட முதல் புத்தகம் ராய் ரத்னவேல் அவர்களுடைய புத்தகம். இந்த புத்தகம் கனடா நாட்டினுடைய நம்பர் 1 பெஸ்ட் செல்லராக மாறியது என்பது ஒரு தமிழரின் புத்தகம். இரண்டாவது முக்கியமான ஒரு நிகழ்வு. மூன்றாவது முக்கியம் என்பது 17 வயதில் அங்கிருக்கிற சூழல்கள் சரியில்லை என்று அவருடைய தந்தையார், அவர் கைதியாக இருக்கிறார். 17 வயசில் அரசியல் கைதி. அங்கு ஒரு இளைஞராக இருந்தாலே நீங்கள் சந்தேகத்திற்குரியவர் தான். அரசியல் கைதி எப்படியாவது தன் மகனை வேறு நாட்டிற்கு அனுப்ப வேண்டும் என்று கனடா நாட்டிற்கு அனுப்புகிறார். அனுப்பி வைத்த 2வது நாளில் அவருடைய தந்தையார் இராணுவத்தால் சுட்டுக் கொல்லப்படுகிறார். ராய் ரத்னவேலுடைய தந்தையார் 2வது நாள் சுட்டுக் கொல்லப்படுகிறார். ஆனால் அது மட்டுமல்ல வலி. இந்த வலியும் கடந்த அவருடைய வாழ்க்கை எப்படி நம்பிக்கை என்றால், $50 கனடாவுக்கு வந்து இறங்கி அங்கு எவருடைய உதவியையும் பெறாமல் தன்னுடைய உழைப்பை மட்டுமே நம்பி உழைத்து கல்வி பயின்று, அந்த உழைப்பிற்கு பின்னும் உயர் பதவிகளில் தான் நேரில் ஏணியாக ஏறி செல்வேன் இல்லாமல் ஒரு தபால் அலுவலகத்தில் வேலை பார்த்து இன்று அவர் பணிபுரிகின்றார். இன்று அவர் வைஸ் சேர்மனாக இருக்கக்கூடிய சிஐ குரூப் ஆஃப் கம்பெனிஸுக்கு அவர் வைஸ் சேர்மனாக இருக்கிறார். அந்த கம்பெனியினுடைய மதிப்பு $400 billion. $400 billion today. So, a political prisoner, and his prison number was 1056. 2 days after he left the country, his father was shot dead. He didn't receive charity from any institution or organization. He studied by his hard work, and he was prepared to work in a mail delivery office. And today, he is vice chairman of a company that is worth $400 billion. Isn't it the story of hope? Give your great hands to Roy Ratnavel.
Thank you, Father. What an amazing introduction. I'm truly moved by your kind words. Sometimes success in life is merely hanging on when others would let go. Not doing anything spectacular or out of the ordinary, but acquiring success, but simply carrying on with life. Many Ulam Tamils, including me, felt this way when we fled Sri Lanka and arrived on friendlier shores. நினைப்பதெல்லாம் நடந்துவிட்டால் தெய்வம் ஏதுமில்லை, நடந்ததையே நினைத்திருந்தால் அமைதி என்றுமில்லை. இந்த எளிமையான மடை திறந்து வெள்ளமென பாயும் இந்த வரிகள் கவியரசு கண்ணதாசனுடையது. ஈழப்போரின் போது இலங்கையில் வாழ்ந்து துன்பப்பட்ட ஒவ்வொரு தமிழ் நபரும் கவிஞரின் வரிகளை உடனடியாக சான்றளிக்க முடியும். எல்லோருக்கும் எனது மாலை வணக்கம். Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank the Rights Organization for giving me this opportunity today to have a conversation with you. Exactly 35 years ago this year, I left Sri Lanka for a better life, a life of freedom and choice. 2 days after, I landed in Toronto, Canada. My father was killed by a single bullet on April 21st, 1988. That was 35 years ago. He was 53 years old and I was 18. My father's untimely death left me with the feeling that I had to live for two people. I thought if I did well enough in life, somehow I could make it for the life he should have had. I used that pain of his death as coal for my furnace of ambition. Today, I stand in front of you 35 years later, at the age of 53, as a father of a son who is 18 years old. Now my father not only lives through me, but also through my son, his grandson as well. நடந்தையை நினைத்திருந்தால் அமைதி என்றுமில்லை. As great poet Kannadasan said, there is no peace if you think about what happened. Though past events are unchangeable, they can serve as an important lesson in overcoming struggles in life to strive for a better future. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. We are all worthy of a life that we desire, but it can only happen under the right conditions. Many free nations like Canada provided us Tamils with those conditions, freedom and choice. We Tamils know this very well. Ever since my father died tragically, he has been with me ever since. Perspective is the key on how one fares in life. I wanted nothing to do with my past. It's all about the future. I learned that despair can become a doorway. The path to happiness begins and ends in the mind. All you can control in life is how you respond to life. If you spend too much time thinking about your past, you won't be ready for the future. For me, and many Tamils like me, Canada was the much needed prosthetic to our amputated spirit. My father knew in Canada I would have opportunities that he never had. He didn't send me to Canada just to survive. He sent me to Canada to live. His death, my life. Since then, I have devoted the decades I lived outside of Sri Lanka to making the most of the incredible opportunities Canada had offered and the warmth and encouragement of the people whose life path I have crossed. Both would have astonished my father in his most optimistic moment. I wrote the book Prisoner Number 1056 as an act of gratitude to my father, whom I observed intently as a young boy. He instilled in me the love of English language. However, the book, the manuscript, was rejected by almost all publishers. But I never gave up pitching the Tamil story. Never. Because it is not my story, but it's our collective Tamil story. Thomas Edison once said, many of life failures are people who did not realize how closely they were to success when they gave up. Pretty much everyone told me there's no way this book will ever be published, especially by a major publisher like Penguin Random House. Success, ladies and gentlemen, is seeing what others can't. It's believing when others don't. Because life is a long journey. We sometimes forget rejection is part of that process. And that process is a journey. It goes when you go and it stops when you stop. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to note that Prisoner Number 1056 became an immediate #1 national bestseller in Canada. And it was published by Penguin Random House. Mountains are made of little rocks. it takes many steps to get there. For me, it took me many years and many false steps to get here. But each time it felt like the ending of everything. Though even now, I'm still sometimes not sure about things. After all, I have poured my heart into things that didn't matter and invested in things that blew up me personally and professionally. But I had to go to war with the man in the mirror. An empty stomach and broken soul taught me many valuable lessons. The positive things in life always come when you face life's biggest challenges. Loss is not just something that just happens. It really becomes a part of you. Emotional wounds do not heal, they fester. Today, I feel like I have learned so much over the past 35 years. It has really made me more conscious of life and how I want to spend mine and make the most of it. Because it is not the accolades that you take with you, but the impact you leave behind on this world. Hopefully a positive one. When I see my Tamil son with other 18-year-olds with different backgrounds and skin colors having fun, inspires me and gives me hope for humanity. When I see those friends caring for each other and being not judgmental, gave me hope for humanity. It is heartwarming to see that as a father. He now lives in a world that is different and a million times better than the one I grew up in. That, ladies and gentlemen, is hope for humanity. From the time he was born, all I wanted was for him not to have to make the choices I had to make. And for him not to go around being fearful that someone or some people would come after him because he is a Tamil. I just didn't want him to have that fear in his heart. To that end, when I think about Canada, I'm reminded of the Irish proverb, "When I count my blessings, I count you twice." Like many immigrants from everywhere else, Ilam Tamils were determined to overcome our tortured past and to build new lives, so the next generation would never have to endure the same sense of terror that associated with our ancestral homeland. We gained the gift of freedom and democracy in free nations. It is a collective win of an epic proportion. One thing we kept doing was that we never thought twice about giving up, but continuing on. Regardless of whether life lifted us or broke us down, we kept going, thanks to newfound freedom and democracy. So it was very fitting that prisoner number 1056 is dedicated to freedom and democracy. My appreciation for both is boundless. Finally, don't ever trip over what's behind you. You have to let the past go. Revenge is not the solution. Living well is. As I said, despair can become a doorway. Perspective is the key on how one fares in life. All you can control in life is how you respond to life. Many Tamils have done this. I repeat, the path to happiness begins and ends in the mind. You have to let the past go, otherwise it will pull you down. Because what is in the way, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, is the way. If you spend too much time thinking about your past, you won't be ready for the future. Because there's always a struggle behind success. This is why I love the RISE organization, because it is looking forward, not backwards. எங்கே வாழ்க்கை தொடங்கும், அது எங்கே எவ்விதம் முடியும். இதுதான் பாதை, இதுதான் பயணம் என்பது யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. பாதையெல்லாம் மாறிவரும் பயணம் முடிந்துவிடும் மாறுவதை புரிந்து கொண்டால் மயக்கம் தொலைந்துவிடும் என்று சொன்னார் கவிஞர் கண்ணன். So I beg of you, my fellow Tamil brothers and sisters, we are an amazing group of people. We can achieve a lot more than we have already achieved. So let's not look back, let's look forward to build an amazing life for all of us. So thank you, Saravanan, and his lovely wife, Ms. Nandini, for giving me this incredible opportunity and doing all the heavy lifting to put together this amazing conference. And for Father Jagat Rasparaj, thank you, sir, for your friendship, and not only that, for believing in this book from day one. And I'm honored and humbled and incredibly moved by this invitation to be here in Malaysia. Despite all the struggles and strife, I am incredibly fortunate to have been born as a Tamil. To that end, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an accidental Sri Lankan by birth, a proud Canadian by choice, and unapologetic Tamil by heritage. Walga Tamil Mali, Walga Tamil. Thank you.